I'm starting to think that this might actually be a relief rally, It does look like Bitcoin's recovering. It's recovered about $2,000 since the low. And I guess the big question is whether we are past the point of max pain or whether this is just a small relief rally before Bitcoin does indeed go back down to the 52,000 or 53,000 level. And according to the people that I've got on the show today, and let me tell you, I've got some really cool people on the show today. We are in for a different kind of bull market. And if it is a different kind of bull market, what we need to do is we need to trade this bull market differently. So stay tuned and stay tuned till the end, because that's where you're going to get all the nuggets. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Okay, so Bitcoin is recovering, but the leverage is still super high. Today, we're going to be looking at what the market actually looks like on-chain, all the fundamental data, and from a technical point of view. And then we're going to be asking whether this bull run is starting to cool down or whether this is just another healthy correction. That is what we're going to be speaking about today. So if you are new to our channel, welcome. You finally landed it in the most loyal and most profitable crypto community in the world. Yeah, you heard right. The most loyal crypto community in the world. That is not what we say. That is actually what YouTube tell us. And we're a loyal community because we're here with you through thick and through thin, through bull markets, through bear markets, through corrections. And we're guiding you through this journey. And all through this time, we have one objective, and that is to make sure that you guys make life-changing money and keep your life-changing money. And speaking of life-changing money and making and keeping life-changing money, listen to this. Listen to this from a fan of ours who won one of our giveaways. Listen to this video from this fan who won one of the giveaways. Freddie, play the video, buddy.
Hey, Rand, this is Timor. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys chose me for the Scallop token giveaways, and right now that token is worth over $4,000. I've received all my tokens. Thank you so much. And I'm a huge fan of you guys for over a year. You guys have changed our lives. My family, my wife, and my 2 kids. We love to watch your show. We're a huge fan since day one. We're ride or die with you guys. And you guys have changed our lives. I'm so grateful for you guys. And I'm going to watch till I die. And I'm going to support you guys as much as I can. Thank you so much for changing our lives and being with us. You guys are true family. And we love you guys so much.
Yeah. So that is coming from one of our fans, and he is one of our most loyal fans. And we have such incredible loyal fans. But you know what? We give back to our loyal fans. Just look at what we've given our loyal fans just in the last couple of days. So we gave away Star Launch. We gave away 50 times $400, which is $200,000 in IDO allocations in Star Launch. That's now done 100x. So 100x, that means we gave away $2 million to the Banter community in Star Launch. We gave away Scallop. I think we gave away about $1 million in Scallop also to our community. And that's just over the last couple of weeks. So it really does pay to be part of the Banter fam. We do try and change lives. And if we can't change your lives on the market, we will also look to give you guys giveaways. There is another giveaway going on right now, and that is we are giving away a MonkeyBall. But what you need to do if you want to be part of the MonkeyBall giveaway is this. So you go to my Twitter. I have dropped on my Twitter a whole lot of monkey profile pictures. So I actually helped you guys. I dropped a whole lot of MonkeyBall profile pictures for you guys. Just go and retweet or change your profile picture to a MonkeyBall profile picture, and then you guys can win. It's as simple as that. Go and change your profile picture to a MonkeyBall profile picture, and then you can win. And then we'll also do some giveaways here on the show today, but only when we get to 5,000 likes. So smash that like button if you want some giveaways on the show today. Jimmy, anything else? Oh, yes, he's right. Miami. If you're coming to Miami, and you want to join us at the event, the Decentralized event, there is a referral link at the bottom. You get 40% off your tickets. And if you buy a ticket, let us know you bought a ticket, and we will get you a free ticket to one of the after parties. We're having a crypto Banter meetup. If Sheldon can get a visa, because we just found out that Sheldon may not be able to get a visa. So if you want to join, there is a link in the description below, and you can get 40% off those tickets. Anyway, enough admin. Let's get into the main part of the show, which is this And I guess what we're asking is whether this bounce is the bounce to take us back to Valhalla, or whether this is just a temporary relief bounce. And I guess if we want to do that, we should probably go straight into the crypto quants thread. And what they're saying is today's Bitcoin BTC ticks. Whales are still accumulating. Long-term holders, miners, and long-term holders and miners are accumulating. The exchange reserves are dropping. And yeah, let's have a look at this. They actually go through a whole tweet from here. So long-term holders and miners are holding Bitcoin. We can see that that's happening over there. You have the exchange reserves, which keep decreasing. You have the MVRV, which is, let me open that up for you guys. MVRV is a market value to realized value ratio, is defined as an asset's market capitalization divided by realized capitalization. Bitcoin has been consolidating as realized price has been trending upwards. The lower the MVRV goes, the more attractive Bitcoin becomes to buy. Currently, the MVRV is far from the previous high, so it's not an attractive time to be selling your Bitcoin. But then we do have the leverage. I think at this point we start looking at what's going on. So the futures market still seems to be overheated, and I've never seen the futures and the leverage so stubbornly high. This leverage ratio is just not dropping. It's just not dropping. No matter how much the market goes down, the leverage ratio just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing, or certainly isn't dropping fast enough. So that's on the bad side of things. You've got short-term holders. Let's look at what's happening with short-term holders. Short-term holders over here, short-term holders are still selling. The strong and weak hands game. So the whales are accumulating, and the short-term holders are basically selling their coins. And you can see that not only there. If you look over here, you can see that the orange line is the whales. So I tweeted this last night, and I said, look who is actually buying the coins that you're selling. It's the addresses with more than 10,000 Bitcoin, and they seem to be growing and growing and growing and accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. Whilst the weak hands, the spinach hands, the bunny, the lettuce for the bunny hands, they are dropping their thing. And then there is one other weakness in the market, and one other weakness in the market is that Binance, which is, of course, the biggest exchange, the BTC balance on Binance keeps increasing. So whilst all the other exchanges seem to be losing coins, the BTC balance on Binance keeps increasing. So you've got a battle between the bulls and the bears. And as I said to you guys yesterday, I think that the battle ends next week. With the biggest futures closeout, I think, in history, the biggest options and futures closeout in history on the biggest Friday of November. I think that is when this battle ends and the market finds a direction either up or down. And of course, I think the market direction is going to be up. But it doesn't really matter what I think. It actually matters more what the experts think, because they're much smarter than I am. And I'll tell you, I want to bring in my friends, the experts. I'm going to start off with badass Vinny. Vinny, those are badass glasses, bro. I can't hear you. Is Vinny muted? Let's unmute Vinny. Okay.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Those are badass.
Thank you. Solana Vipers.
Oh, are they Solana Viper glasses?
Yeah.
Vinny, every time that I see you, and every time that I see you in person, I come out much richer for it.
I'm glad to hear that. I like to enrich my friends.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you about, was it a year and a half ago, and you said to me FileCoin, and then I made a whole lot of money on FileCoin. I saw you in March or April in Miami. And actually, it was June. I saw you in June in Miami.
No, but we bumped. I think we had a call. We chatted about in like March or February. We spoke about it.
And I came out richer for that. And so I've got you back here today because I mean, my bank balance is running low. I think I need some good tips.
I'm gonna have to focus on this one then.
Cool. I'm going to bring in our other two friends for today. We've got Bill back here. Bill Barhydt, welcome. He's the founder and CEO of Abra. How you doing, Bill?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good. And then Vinny, after the last banter that you had with Tyler from Chico Crypto, I thought I'd bring Tyler back here because it kind of felt like it was unfinished.
Yeah, a little bit of unfinished business.
So were we all at the Solana conference? Tyler, I know I saw you posting from the balconies in Lisbon. Were you at the conference?
I didn't go to any of the Solana conferences. They didn't want me there.
They didn't want you there?
No, they did not want me there.
Tell us why.
Well, I made that video that pretty much predicted that their chain was going down. I said something really bad was going to happen and the price was going to crash. And that's exactly what happened.
And
yeah, it crashed all the way to $250, I think.
No, it crashed further than that. It was pretty nasty. But I mean, Solana, it does have a use case. I just want them to be honest in what they are. They aren't a decentralized chain. I mean, they are a centralized chain. And
There's
just be
2,000 validators. What do you mean it's not decentralized?
Just be honest. But there's only probably
2,000 validators.
there's probably less than 50 that actually do the block producing, because it's chosen by weight of stake. And there's only a few that have a really large stake, those large VCs. I mean,
hold on. Wait. You know, I have to actually address this point, because when you talk about a VC, do you know what a VC does?
Yes, a venture capitalist, they invest.
What do they do? How do they get their money?
They invest.
How do they get
their money? And they invest in projects. They invest in infrastructure.
Okay.
They invest in different things.
You clearly don't know, so let me tell you. Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be a good Friday.
I clearly don't know. A venture capitalist doesn't
All right,
invest.
I'm just gonna drink.
Okay.
Yeah, Vinny. What's a VC do?
Okay, a VC is collective capital. We take money from hundreds
And we invest.
or thousands of people, we pool it together, and we make decisions on that capital.
And we invest.
on
It's not hard.
on behalf of large pools of people. So when you say a VC,
And sometimes select few groups of people. I mean, it's not thousands of people always.
Okay,
sometimes it's 5 people.
Let me finish.
Sometimes it's 10. Sometimes it's 100.
Chico, let me help it. Let me make sure the audience all understands and appreciates what I'm saying. So if you don't mind, give me a second.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
a venture capitalist basically is a decision maker on capital for pools of people. So let's say a typical venture fund may have 400 or 500 people, and then we go and buy a 5% stake. But those 400 or 500 people all collectively own that 5% stake. We just help decide where the capital goes. At the end of the day, when the investment's successful, we give back the tokens or the shares or whatever to those people. So when you say a VC is a centralizing mechanism, no, it's not.
I did not say a VC is a centralized mechanism. I said the validators are centralized.
Validators.
So 2,000 validators? That's centralized?
No, well, there's only a select few amount of validators that produce blocks for Solana because it's based on stake.
Every epoch, they select 20 or
Dude,
something.
I did the research in that video. Go watch it, man. It's pretty easy to understand.
Anyway,
Okay, so Tyler, you're not a big Solana fan.
Well, I would be a Solana fan if they were honest in what they are. There are many centralized chains out there. I am a fan of one. It's called Energy Web Chain. They admit we are only run by a select few of validators. Just be honest. You know, you're not more decentralized than Ethereum. Just shut the frick up right now. I mean, come on. There's a reason you guys went down because you got DDoS attacked.
Hold on,
moving in the right direction of being decentralized, just like a lot of other chains that were early. I mean,
it's okay. But right now, if you go to the Solana website right now, they say they're the most decentralized. It's ridiculous.
So when Bitcoin started, it was centralized because Satoshi was the only miner.
Yeah, it was.
I think his point. I think his point is not what it is. His point is what they're saying.
Yeah, what they're saying. Just be honest in what you are. And if they were honest, they said we're not decentralized right now. We have plans in our roadmap to become decentralized. I'd be cool.
Where does it say the most decentralized? Yeah, it says
Solana is a decentralized blockchain built to enable scalable, user-friendly dApps in the world. And I'm just scrolling down. Okay, tell me when to stop.
Right there.
Not only is Solana ultra fast and low cost.
Decentralized and unstoppable. It's decentralized and centralized and stoppable because it got stopped by DDoS.
I'm really sorry you missed Solana. I'm really, really sorry you missed it.
I'm not sorry. I mean, it's okay. I made money elsewhere. It's crypto, dude.
I really feel for you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, stop. Okay. Wait. Let's put the you really wish that they would say what they are aside. And let me tell you a little bit about what we saw. I saw a lot of very smart people building on what you call a centralized blockchain. I saw a lot of venture capital money on the sidelines, a lot. In fact, I saw all the same VCs that I saw at the conferences in 2017, at the Ethereum DevCons in 2016. I saw all those same VCs with big checkbooks, all very horny for Solana, all about to write lots and lots and lots of checks for Solana. And if you follow the thesis of invest where the developers are or invest where the smart money is at, then I'm not sure that you can decide to ignore Solana. I mean, if that's how you make investment decisions, that's how I make investment decisions, I'm not sure that you can ignore it right now.
Well, I'm a little different. I invest based on, decentralization and fundamentals. So that's just me.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll get into that discussion. Let's go back to a fundamental discussion and let's talk about Bitcoin.
Wasn't Bitcoin pre-mined? I mean, in the sense that there was one laptop running the network.
Yeah.
And only one person generated the Genesis block. It was completely centralized.
Satoshi. You got to do that.
Right.
You got to do that.
Exactly. And so it became more and more decentralized over time. So if you're only going to invest in projects that are fully what you're referring to.
No, I invest. What I look for first is decentralization. That's what I invest in first.
Okay, but then you're going to be late to every game. I mean,
absolutely, Bill. Absolutely.
You would have. I invest in some centralized. Like I said, one of my favorite projects is an energy web chain, but they're honest in what they are. They say they're not centralized, and they do have plans. But I mean, come on, you're not decentralized and unstoppable. You're centralized and unstoppable.
We can't argue with him. He's going to be investing late. And
Vinny, I think with respect, I think that there is a point to be made here. Solana are claiming that currently they are decentralized, and there is perhaps a valid argument that currently they are not decentralized.
Thank you.
I think that we can all agree that they're going to become decentralized in the course of time, and you've got to make a decision as to whether you believe the roadmap for them to become decentralized. But I think what Tyler's saying is he's saying, look. Right now, they claim to be decentralized, and they're not decentralized. And he made a video about that, and that's what got him kicked out of the conference. Anyway, let's leave that be. Let's talk about what's going on in the Bitcoin market. Some people are starting to believe that maybe this was a top and that we're starting to go slowly down. Others are saying that it is just a normal pullback in a very heated bull market, which is going to take us into the next leg of the bull market. The question is, what do you guys think? Bill, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I would be shocked if we hit the top. Not only that, I think that Ethereum is going to lead us higher, not Bitcoin. I think Ethereum's got a huge run pent up. Like the rubber band is winding up, and I would not be surprised to see if we saw a big melt up in Ethereum before the end of the year, going into Q1. Obviously, crypto doesn't know what a calendar is, so whether it's December, January, February makes no difference to Ethereum. But I think we've got a lot more room to go. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 52, 53. But when you're in a log scale for exponential growth, none of this stuff matters. By 52, 53, I meant Bitcoin, of course. But I still think Ethereum is going to lead the way higher right now. It's got all the attention. I mean, Sotheby's taking money in Ethereum. Nobody's talking about Bitcoin use cases right now. Right, everybody's talking about Ethereum use cases, and if you look at I saw Raul posted a really cool chart that I was amazing. I hadn't even seen, where he basically showed Bitcoin overlapped with Ethereum. Bitcoin, I think it was Bitcoin 17 overlapped with Ethereum today. I hadn't seen it, and it really validated exactly what I just said, which is, I think Ethereum's basically got the network effects, and that's not priced in.
I agree. Are we all in agreement that the reason for this is of the slight pullback is over leverage on the one hand, 100%. And on the other hand, potentially the overhang of the Mt. Gox coins, the 150,000 Bitcoin that are now perhaps going to be released from the Mt. Gox coins?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Vinny has a comment, but I don't think the Mt. Gox coins matter. I think it's still leverage. I think the futures markets basically look, as the spurts up get less, the pullbacks get less. And and that's exactly what's been happening. We've seen much bigger pullbacks than this on bigger run-ups. And you're going to see less volatility over time with the big boys, particularly Bitcoin. Ethereum is going to have bigger pullbacks because it's going to scream much higher on a log scale. But we've seen this before. It's the same dance.
Here's that log scale graph of Ethereum. The blue line is Ethereum, and the white line is, of course, Bitcoin.
That's it. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think it is good. The problem that I'm seeing is that the leverage is just not getting shaken out. We've had a 15, maybe 20% correction in Bitcoin, depending on where you look at it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where the leverage is. Look at where the leverage is relative to where it was in, say, May after the correction. That's where the leverage, the total estimated leverage ratio was in May. It is still higher now after the shakeout than it was at the peak of May. That's how much leverage is still in the market, and it's just not being shaken. It's just not being shaken.
I think
But
we can,
you have to
we
offset
can
that with
thank
the amount
Plan
of
B.
crypto. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I said I think we can thank Plan B for that.
Because he's pumping a narrative.
No, it's just, the 98K, a lot of longers are thinking we're going to it. So they're not stopping, they're going to keep putting down long trades, even with the pullbacks. So,
yeah. But you also have to look at the amount of Bitcoin moving off of exchanges. And that has stopped. That has not stopped outside of when we peaked in April, May, and you had money moving on, which was the strong hands taking profits. I mean, this has not stopped, and we've got a net outflow, and you have to basically offset the two, which means that at some point the supply shock matters, right? And I think the supply shock is something that it is different today than it was in November, December, even of last year. And so while I do think that the leverage could pull us down to 52, 53 before we scream higher, it doesn't have to, just given the supply shock we're in.
Here's the total exchange reserves. Here's the total exchange reserve. That's the blue line. And you can see that the total exchange reserves has dropped tremendously. The only exchange that actually has a lot of coins going onto it is Binance at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you look at the
and by the way, I have to shill Abra. I mean, a lot of it's going to us because we're paying the yield. Right. So if you look at Abra and Celsius and BlockFi, we're getting the benefit of a lot of this because people who are long-term holders are just saying, hey, I'd rather make, well, now we're paying 9% with the RC Perks token. But yeah, sorry for the shill, but that's what's happening.
No, not sorry for the shill. I mean, if you're offering a great service, then yeah. Great, shill right ahead, Tyler, what do you think in terms of this bull market? I mean, you said that Plan B's created this narrative of 98,000. And I think I agree with you. I think sometimes the narrative becomes the reality. If enough people think that we're going to a 98,000 and then a 135,000 Bitcoin, then that becomes the reality. Then Bitcoin must be going to 98,000 and 135,000. If you were to remove the noise of Plan B, where are you going? Where are we going with this thing?
Well, both sides of the coin you got to look at. I'm a bull. I'm a perma bull. I believe in Bitcoin, and I do believe we're going to push up. But because of him, putting out those numbers, it does cause the longers to leverage like crazy, even with the pullbacks. And when there's too much long leverage in the markets, what happens? They pull the rug. And we dip down to exactly where the liquidation for most of the traders go. And then they get liquidated, but then more just keep pouring it in.
But we're not getting liquidated. I mean, there's no. You look at the liquidation data.
If you go to BYBT, it's all longs that are getting liquidated. It's not shorts.
Okay, I think I looked at it earlier. Let's quickly go and look at the liquidation data. So here is the liquidation data. Let's look at it. Hold on. Let's quickly go into liquidation.
Liquidation, yeah. If you look, you'll see what's happened over the past.
So let's go the last 24 hours.
It's all longs. See those big green spikes? Those are longs. It's all longs that's getting liquidated. There's no shorts.
Yeah, but we also haven't had a aggressive spike up. When we get that aggressive spike up, the shorts are going to get killed. But we just haven't had that.
No, of course. We have had a few aggressive spikes up. We jumped here recently and not too many shorts. No one shorts Bitcoin in a freaking bull market, until we start really going down.
Didn't FTX, I think, reduce the leverage maximum a few months ago?
They all did.
But it didn't matter. They reduced it to 20x. So,
well, yeah. So you're gonna get much lower liquidations at those levels. The vol has to be a lot higher to liquidate. So what you're seeing is why you're seeing the leverage staying in is because people can't lever up 5x what they used to from 20 to 100.
Sure.
So Bitcoin would have to drop dramatically to hit these levered longs out. And I still think that, like, as Chico, actually, one thing I agree with him on, we're in a secular bull market right now for Bitcoin, and like, who the hell's going to short Bitcoin in this market?
No one.
Like, you get your face ripped off. So I think this little sort of sideways motion right now is pretty healthy market trading. I actually have another angle, which I'm going to be conspiracy theorist, but I have a lot of friends who are in sort of crypto chartists, etc. And they message me all the time. And there seems to be unusual market behavior right now in Bitcoin. where it looks like there's some sort of coordinated price suppression, etc., but accumulation at the same time. So the question is like, is there a government sort of agency or whatever trying to buy up Bitcoin and trying to like manipulate prices at the same time using, whatever mechanisms they have? And it's like maybe there are, maybe there's a lot of accumulation happening with some government somewhere in the world.
So let's look at this quickly. So you got Bitcoin's liquid supply decreasing by 145,000 Bitcoin over the past 30 days. Okay, so that's where we're at today, and much more aggressively in the last couple of days. So you can see that the last couple of days. But at the same time, you've now got Hillary Clinton, who seems to have gone to Bitcoin school and has now realized exactly how strong Bitcoin is.
One more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency, because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. So when we think about this new environment in which we find ourselves that we've been discussing for the last some minutes, we can't just think about nation states. And then
So, I mean, someone gave Hillary Clinton the clever pull this morning.
Yeah.
So seriously, when 2021, 22 basically announced she's going out. I mean, look, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
We tried to tell her in 2017.
She's going to start shilling some shit coins.
But there's got to be a nation state that's accumulating Bitcoin, in my opinion. There has to be at least one. There's 180 plus states in the world. There's got to be one nation state that's printing money and buying Bitcoin.
So I'll tell you what doesn't really make sense to me in this dip, or does make sense, and kind of says to me that we're not actually it's not a bear market dip at all, is I'm looking at some other indicators. Let me show you some of the indicators that I'm looking at. So the first indicator that I'm looking at is the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance is under 43. I mean, just look at what the Bitcoin dominance is doing, which means that people are saying if people are bearish, people are moving out of alts into Bitcoin. That's not what's happening now. People are actually, even in this dip, shifting from Bitcoin into altcoins. The other thing which I saw, which makes me extremely bullish about what's going on in the market, is I think that if the market was expecting a negative or bear market cycle, they would potentially start trading out of the algorithmically pegged stable coins into USDT and USDC, which are more stable. Because remember that coins like UST theoretically can lose their peg in a bear market. And we've seen it. We've seen certain shocks where UST. But the market cap of UST seems to be growing faster than anything that I've ever seen. I mean, just a few days ago, they were on 3 billion. They're now on 6.5 billion in terms of that. So it's showing me that people aren't moving out of algorithmically backed stablecoins. And if people aren't moving out of algorithmically backed stablecoins, and people are moving into altcoins in this time, then I'm kind of saying what the market is probably thinking is, hold on a second, there's a big futures closeout next week. Bitcoin, there are 150,000 Bitcoin from the Mt Gox, which could potentially get sold into the market. There's a lot of leverage, and a lot of the noobs have leveraged themselves into Bitcoin because they don't understand anything else. But actually, we've got to get on to some other business, and you're seeing ecosystems like Avalanche, all-time highs this week. You're seeing things like Render, which is, again, all-time highs, ain't stopping for anybody this week. I mean, you look at some of these things and you say to yourself, hold on, there's no bear market here. Where's the bear market? Like, it's everything's positive, except
look at
for
WAX, by the way. Look at WAX.
Yeah.
I actually, to keep myself honest, I went back and looked at, I was on your show on October 1, by the way. I talked about RUNE, WAX, and Render. And
Wow.
WAX, I think, is up now 5x since then. And it has, and it actually, it's, well, now it's in an accumulation phase, but Render has absolutely killed it, and it hasn't stopped for anything.
So let's talk about WAX. WAX has actually been everyone thinks, wow, look at WAX. WAX has actually been a long, hard slog from 2017.
Yeah.
From a lot of people who believed in NFTs when NFTs were nothing, who fought against the odds when NFTs were nothing. And I think they're now capitalizing on all their hard work, right?
Yeah.
You know, Wax has been around for a while.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, I must be honest. I entered Wax in 2017 and I sold it way before. I think I'm completely out of my position, and it's not one that I really.
Didn't Wax have a partnership with Topps, the baseball?
I think
the
they
card
did.
Company?
Yeah. So Wax was the I think the guys that started it was the founders of Opskins, which is William Quigley and I think it was his blockchain play.
Yeah, his partner died actually.
Yeah, his partner passed on in Mexico, Malcolm. Yeah, he passed on in Mexico. So we looked at that. We also then, I think people woke up to Render. Look, what happened in Render was, I mean, I think the whole world woke up
smiling.
Yeah, Vinny's smiling because Vinny told me for a long time to watch Render. And I did my homework, and the question became, who's going to render the metaverse? Which is it's a valid question about who's actually going to render all the shit that we're talking about. And I think Solana conference was the big turning point for Render, because everybody, A, they demoed what they could do. B, Raj stood up at the end of Solana conference and said, look at this. This is one of the companies that's going to change the world. And then a week later, Chamat and David Sachs on the All In podcast spent 5 minutes talking about Render and how Render is going to change the world. I mean, I think that was the graduation ceremony for Render. I think it's graduated from a small cap to probably one of the most industry changing tokens on the market at the moment.
But you can't even buy Render anywhere. That's the beauty part. Like, it's amazing. Like, you can only use Uniswap really if you're in the US. You can't buy
and Kucoin, yeah, and Kucoin.
And Kucoin. But so it's not listed on any Coinbase, Binance, anything like that. The thing about Render, which I think people just finally figured out, is they've got the largest GPU network in the world right now. Okay, and Otoy, the company, which is the parent company, basically has the best rendering engine out there. So all these NFT artists, people uses it. He's on the advisory board. I mean, it's a total moat. And they announced this week that Maxon, the biggest competitor, is now also going to use the Render network as well for distributed GPU compute. So Render is one of those iconic like plays right now, where in 2 or 3 years' time, this is exactly how all rendering is going to be done. I think worldwide, because either you're going to be using some free software or Maxon software or anyone else's software, but you use the Render network for it.
So if you were to say that to me in 2017, I would have said to you bullshit. I would have called bullshit on it. But in 2021, and you're actually seeing that this is actually happening on Render. Like, they're showing you stuff that they actually rendered in real time using, GPU powers that's in an iPhone and in an iPad. And then you realize, hold on, this is actually not a pipe dream, but this is actually something that's actually working.
You actually missed one thing, Run. The real start was 3 weeks ago, before the Solana conference, when Apple and Tim Cook and the whole Apple event featured Jules from Render on their Apple launch, the event, and showed the power of what Render can do, rendering a 3D model of the Starship Enterprise. I mean,
yes, I remember that.
If you go in, you can go look and find it. It's incredible. And for those who don't know what Render is essentially it's a network that allows you to run 3D, massively intense 3D compute processes through a network of GPUs to do the calculations. But what it means is, as an example, if you take a 3D object, let's say I take my Solana cup of coffee here, and I want to create a 3D model of that, and I want to shine a light.
Two shows at once.
Two shows at once. And then I want to shine a light on this 3D object. The rendering compute engine has to calculate the light rays hitting this, bouncing off, as you're moving it around. All that computation to make it look lifelike or real has to run through a GPU compute infrastructure. The only infrastructure out there that can possibly do this right now at scale is Render, and he has a patent on it since 2008, before Bitcoin. So for me, this is an easy win. This is like
two things I love about Render. One is, first of all, I used to work in the graphics lab at NASA, and I used to present at SIGGRAPH. So all the things that Vinny said is what I was doing when I was a kid. Two is, I think where this is headed is you're going to see GPU farms that are going to be able to move between proof of work and rendering based upon whatever's more profitable at any given time. And they're going to figure this out just based upon profit opportunity. And so that's what I would be doing. If I was running a GPU farm, I would say, okay, rather than just move between coins, Why don't I actually move between applications and coins? And now maybe my profit's up 20, 30, 40% from before. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Bill's 100% right. There's no reason why you cannot use the Render network to farm GPU coins either. So that can come over time. The network itself can be used for lots of different things.
Oh, that's actually big for ETH too, because as we know, proof of work is going the most profitable, so where are they going to go?
Exactly. And so my thesis on this was, as you move to ETH2, all the miners are going to take their GPUs, all the GPU cards, and plug it into the Render network and rent out that GPU to the highest bidder. Like, this is what can happen in the future with Render. It's not there right now. But I think the most important thing about Render for me is Jules Urbach, the CEO, is probably one of the smartest people I've ever met. And I mean that sincerely. And actually one of the nicest guys as well. He's phenomenal. And his understanding and knowledge of GPUs, ray tracing, all that stuff is like second to none. I'd probably say one of the best in the world, easily top 3. I mean, we're talking like...
Yeah, I must say, I interviewed him at the Solana conference, and I mean, the dude is sharp. The dude is super, super, super sharp. I mean, there's no other way to call it. The guy is super, super, super sharp. Bill, the other one that you called last time that you were here was RUNE, ThorChain. And I guess that's the whole narrative around interoperability and getting tokens to hop between one blockchain and another blockchain in a seamless manner. How bullish are you on that narrative now?
I'm bullish on the narrative. I think the tech is super early. They had a lot of problems this summer. I think it was even offline. Back to the discussion about what's centralized and what's decentralized. It's not decentralized yet, but I think the promise is there. I think cross-chain is going to be a big deal as you go into the metaverse. I think the metaverse is going to be a parallel universe phenomenon, and I think that ThorChain and others like that are going to get a big benefit of that. And we'll see.
What is your favorite bridge? I mean, is it Tyler? I'm looking at you. What's your favorite cross-chain bridge? Is it ThorChain? Are you looking at any of the other bridges? I saw one which I speak about quite often, which is called Layer Zero Labs. I'm not sure that they're public yet, but when they do come public, I think their tech it's going to give Render a big run for its money. Are you looking at any of these cross-chain narratives?
I mean, I'm, looking at Ethereum. I think layer 2 Ethereum is going to solve most of their scalability issues. And I mean, it already is. I mean, Arbitrum, Optimism, that's what I'm looking at, because, eventually when sharding comes, you're going to take these rollups, and these rollups are going to become shards, and its scaling is going to be no issue, in my opinion.
So you think we're going to be in a one-chain world effectively?
No, definitely. I mean, it's already proof, but I think Ethereum is going to become the settlement layer for every chain. That's why every chain is building a bridge right back to Ethereum.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I haven't heard much about Cardano. Has anyone here heard anything about Cardano? I saw a tweet the other day, which I must say I did laugh about. They said we live in a world where Airbnb owns no hotels, Uber doesn't have cars and is valued at X billion. Airbnb has no assets and is valued at Y billion. And Cardano has no smart contracts and is valued at...
Hey, actually, you guys want to know something? Me and Charles Hoskinson were supposed to fight each other.
You're supposed to fight each other?
Yeah, I swear. Back in 2019, right before the pandemic. Yeah, we were scheduled to fight each other, but never went down.
I mean, is anyone? I think we're all investing in projects. Is anyone investing in anything on Cardano yet? Has anyone seen anything?
That was my point. I think David Sachs made it on the All In podcast. Like, I said the same thing to him. Like, I've heard hundreds of pitches, and I haven't heard anyone ever pitch me anything to do with Cardano.
Yeah,
Cardano is a research project. I mean, look, it's an academic research project that holds huge promise for the future. I think aspects of what they're doing will make their way into other projects. I think a lot of enterprises are going to look hard at it because of the academic bent of Charles and the team that are working on it. But it's not going to get, well, whatever.
Charles.
I mean, but it's not going to get the developer community support.
It's the Xerox PARC of
yeah. Yeah.
If you guys want to know something, originally Cardano was supposed to be a gambling platform for Japan. That's what it was originally supposed to be. And it was supposed to come out with its smart contracts for gambling in 2016.
Yeah.
And
But it's never going to get the degen developer support that we're seeing with Solana and Ethereum and other projects. It's a PhD graveyard right now.
Well, if they want to, they need EVM support. I mean, you need EVM support if you want to have the degen developers, because every
well, I'm going to disagree with you there. I think that if you look at Solana, you're seeing a lot of amazing developers, and they're not migrating their EVM applications. It's all new applications written in Rust and written for Solana. And in fact, one thing I'm going to say about Solana is the stuff that they're writing on Solana is you cannot do it on Ethereum. So it's almost like a different stream of products that are being built. Much more live products, things like things like Audius, things like trading applications, which are much more live. They all being built on Solana.
Yeah, you can't build this on Ethereum. I mean, I'll throw something out there, which is part maybe it's a bit early, but there's a network called Flare launching early next year.
Ripple,
Yeah, and Songbird's already live, which is the Canary network. Flare is very interesting for me for a reason. I'm an investor there, but I tell you why. I think that a lot of these coins like Cardano, potentially Dogecoin, Litecoin, all these sort of legacy coins, they've got value in the sense that there's large pools of people who own it and trade it and feel some sort of affinity to these things. And so something like Cardano that has a big pool of supporters, there is some value there. They may not have smart contracting. So now with Flare or Songbird, you can wrap your Cardano, you can get an F at
Flare, if I understand why they launched Flare, they launched it originally around XRP holders. And they said, look, XRP, the chain is not built for smart contracts, but we can take the XRP holders and create a parallel chain which will do the smart contract work, where they can use the XRP as the utility token, so to speak.
Essentially, yes. And then they did an airdrop to XRP holders, excluding a lot of the big holders, obviously, and they basically built a network which is EVM compatible, that you can wrap these assets that, call it legacy assets that don't have deep smart contract functionality, like Cardano, and you can actually wrap them, and you can run DeFi contracts, you can do a whole bunch of cool, sophisticated stuff on top of Songbird and Flare. And Flare launches next quarter. I think that is a better way forward, because you're basically taking a whole bunch of legacy assets and you're wrapping them together, and they don't have to worry about smart contracting by themselves. And
so what they're banking on is they're banking on the network effect of all the non-smart contract platforms. Exactly. And that's why, if I've read correctly, they're doing XRP, they're doing Litecoin as well, and a couple of other.
Doge as well.
Yeah, they're doing Doge.
Yeah. Okay. Meme season, meme token season. Shiba, Doge. Are we finished with that now? Is that finished?
We got to finish on Cardano. What about the meme of Charles and hot models? When did that start?
I mean, he pays them, right? So, like, how else does he get them?
He pays them.
He pays them.
Look, I must say, I'm going to sit out of this discussion. I'm going to sit out of this discussion because I know.
I don't mean it from a. I don't mean it in a negative connotation. But he basically, well, Cardano basically hires these people to promote Cardano. It's well-known fact. They pay them.
Maybe they should hire some developers to promote Cardano.
I know, that's true.
Okay, so we have 3 people on the stream that really don't like Cardano.
I don't like Cardano. I just don't know what to do with it.
I don't either. So yeah,
I don't like Cardano one bit.
Okay.
It's not useful.
Let's talk Metaverse. And the reason I want to talk Metaverse is because Metaverse tokens ain't stopping. So now we're going back to reality. Let's stop knocking Cardano. We understand. Metaverse. So I'm an investor and I've come into the market because Facebook said that they're all about the Metaverse. And I want to build myself a portfolio of Metaverse assets. Where do I put my $10,000?
Render.
But that's just rendering. I mean, you want to be.
Well, you've got Sand. Sand is interesting to me.
Decentraland.
Decentraland. When I was down on October 1st, I actually called Mana.
It's done fantastic since then. I mean, Mana's done fantastic since then.
There's a whole bunch of plays like that I think are going to do well. at least in the short term. We'll see if the usage catches up, but
yeah, I'm a little weary about, I mean, yeah, the metaverse narrative is great right now, but how many of these teams are going to execute? You know, that's my question.
Yeah, I agree. Look, you got Sandbox, Mana, Somnium, and Render are the 4 major contenders for the metaverse.
Decentraland, you got to put up there.
Mana.
Yeah, Mana.
Oh,
yeah,
Mana. Okay, yeah.
Those are the only. So look, if you want to take a balanced portfolio approach, you put one, I believe, into your favorite, and then you split the other 50% up between the other 3. Because like, or you can just split it up between all 4. But I think it's always better to have a conviction in one area and then double down on your conviction, and then everything else, be as cover bets or whatever. That's how
I agree with you on Render, because everybody's going to be rendering using Render or something similar to Render. So I kind of agree with you on that. But if I wanted to buy into a metaverse play, and the reason why I asked it is because a lot of our viewers believe that they may have missed Decentraland and they may have missed Sandbox. And I kind of get it. When you look at the market cap right now of Decentraland, I haven't checked it, but let's quickly check it now. 5 billion, 8 billion, or 9 billion fully diluted. Okay, I kind of understand why some people wouldn't want to get into that right now. And they're looking for some other smaller bets.
Render's 1 billion. Render's 1 billion right now.
Yeah, but Render's not a metaverse. I mean, it renders the metaverse.
It's picks and shovels for the metaverse, right? It's like saying NFT platforms are picks and shovels for the metaverse as well, because you're going to want to move your assets across the platform. So in that regard, Wax and Solana are super early.
One actually, you guys, that just came out yesterday. Oasis Rose partnered with Meta AI, Facebook. So that could be a big play.
Wait, say that again. Oasis partnered with?
Facebook AI, Meta AI.
What's Oasis?
Oasis is.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
So it's a 2017-2018 project which was launched by a professor, Professor Dawn Song was her name. I think she was she a Cambridge professor? I'm not sure where she came from. Very, very smart. We haven't heard from them in a long time. And then they announced yesterday that there's a $120 million developer fund, which is funded by a whole lot of big names like Dragonfly, Jump Capital, etc. They did it one day before a token release. The token release was today. The token release was today. They announced yesterday. The price is kind of withheld. I must say, I was an early investor in Rose.
Oh, nice.
And I have been contemplating whether to hold it or not, because generally I like to hold tokens that I think are going to change the world, but I haven't heard much from Rose to say that they're going to change the world.
Well, yeah, I just saw yesterday that they partnered with Meta AI, so that could be a big play because Facebook is going to scrape their way into the metaverse. I mean, they changed their name to Meta.
Well, they're trying.
Yeah.
I call it the Zuckerverse, by the way. This is
the Zuckerverse. I don't like Facebook, by the way.
Not the Zuckerverse.
I hate it.
The Zuckerverse is basically like the walled garden version of the metaverse, and it may interconnect with the metaverse, but it's not the metaverse. So we should all call it what it is. It's the Zuckerverse.
Yeah, Apple tried to do that in 1987.
Yeah, it's not going to work. The other play, I mean, is for the metaverse is actually FileCoin, I think, because where are you going to store these assets for the metaverse?
I'll tell you where. Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll show you where. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Right here. That's where you're going to store it somewhere where you pay once and store it forever.
But it's so centralized, right? I mean,
Arweave.
A lot of the Arweave nodes.
Arweave, yeah, baby. Arweave.
Arweave does run a lot of nodes run on Amazon.
I don't know. My view around FileCoin versus Arweave, I like them both. FileCoin has taken a legacy business model.
I'm allergic to anything that's under the way Amazon underpins the network.
Yeah, but Vinny, that's half of crypto.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's half of crypto.
So wait, hold on, wait. This is actually a good
That's
point.
Solana,
If you're allergic to everything that is underpinned by Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Cloud, Alibaba Cloud,
Google, whatever. Yeah.
So where is all this computing power going to come from? Where is all the?
This is why I love Render, because Render doesn't rely on Amazon for GPU compute.
What about things like Golem, Ayaz, Akash? What are the other players?
Akash is good.
The whole point of decentralization is no one person can flick a switch and turn off the network, right? And so if we're building stuff on top of Amazon, we're basically just saying we're like it's pseudo decentralization because we're saying it's decentralized.
I keep saying this, and that's why I keep saying Ayaz, because we need decentralized computing power. Render, Ayaz, Golem. I haven't kept up with that project for a long time. Akash. Those are all the decentralized computing powers. Then you've got decentralized storage, which is FileCoin, CoINPANEL, to an extent Arweave, etc. Then you need decentralized money.
I don't think server farms is really the operative point. I think the operative point is the off switch, meaning if Render is as successful as everybody thinks it's going to be on this call, then I think that you're going to see server farms that pop up just like you have mining farms and mining pools. And that's fine. That's competition. And they may be hosted by Amazon. They may be Icelandic server farms that don't exist yet. That's totally fine. Right. So at the end of the day, I don't really care what's hosted on Amazon or Google. What I care about long term is there an off switch? Because that's, back to the earlier discussion on Solana, that's the key point and the key litmus test for decentralization is can a rogue third party force a shutoff? Yeah, that's all.
Exactly. Okay, guys, there's about 5 minutes left or 6 minutes left. In the 5 or 6 minutes, last time, Bill, you were here, you gave us 3 calls. Every single one of those calls shot through the roof. I think Vinny does that every time he comes on the show, and Chico does it every time he comes on the show. So let's quickly get a list of 2 or 3 things that you're looking at between now and the next time that you're on the show. And based on how good they are, we'll decide when to bring you back to the show. You get it? So it's actually like a... if the tokens don't move, then we just don't get you back on the show. It's simple. So Vinny, I'm going to start with you. What are you looking at now?
Well, I mean, look, I do very few bets, but I go pretty deep on them. So it's my usual, like, hey, Solana, FileCoin, and Render at this point are my top 3 coins where I'm really looking for some seriously big movements there in the next couple of months.
And you don't think that we may have missed Solana, Render? I get FileCoin probably has come down quite a lot.
Let's talk about something which Chico's going to hate for a second. It's the potential for Solana to flip an ETH.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, so you can argue, yes, Solana has to go up 7 times to beat ETH. But if Solana goes up 3 times, goes to 600, 700, all of a sudden, the flippening starts becoming, maybe it's real. Now, does Ethereum come down as a result? Is there some sort of equalization point where Solana only has to go up 5x?
Well, Solana's got to handle Ethereum's traffic to survive, which they've shown they can't.
Solana handled 400,000 transactions per second. How much can ETH handle?
It's handling a lot more. I mean, there's a reason the
more
gas
than 400,000
transactions. Okay. Now we're not talking Solana versus ETH anymore. Chico, I'm looking at you. What are you looking at in the next couple of days?
Well, I'm a degen, so these are degen plays.
Let's degen. We're all degens.
Olympus now, baby.
Wait. Let me put this on. Let me put on the disclaimer. There's a disclaimer, degen.
So there's a narrative going on. If you guys have heard of Olympus DAO, have you seen the amount of forks that are being made based on it? Oh my, that's just proof. It's like Bitcoin in the early days, you guys. It's just like Ethereum and all the Ethereum forks.
Come on.
Baby. Oh.
Okay,
and actually one fork of it is, I mean, there's 40, 50 forks of it out right now.
There's a whole bunch of others.
Climate DAO is massive. It has Mark Cuban's backing. Mark Cuban's talking about
it. For the viewers that don't know how these DAOs work, maybe just run through what Olympus DAO does exactly so that our viewers can get a feel for this narrative.
Well, Olympus DAO is a stable coin. It's eventually going to find a stable price, but it's not pegged to anything. It's a free-floating stable coin. So it's actually backed by the treasury of assets that is accumulated by the DAO, which is owned by the community. And it's actually becoming one of the largest treasuries in cryptocurrency.
So it's a treasury, and what do they invest the treasury in? So the DAO, the decentralized organization, the DAO.
The treasury is what backs the token.
And what grows the treasury? What are they investing this treasury in?
What do you mean?
So you've got a treasury, and what is the treasury made up of, and what is it being invested in?
It's made up of different coins as of right now. They're adding Bitcoin, they're Ethereum. They're becoming one of the largest holders of Ethereum out there. And then also Klima. Klima is the fork that I'm bullish on, and Klima does it in an opposite way. They're doing it with carbon tokens.
Okay, amazing. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'm just looking right now. I mean, my 2 big winners this year so far have been Solana and Wax. In terms of, just profits. And I'm trying to decide if I think Solana's got another 5x in it. And honestly, I do. And I actually wouldn't be surprised to see $1,000 Solana next summer, or end of next year. So I'm gonna go with Solana's got a huge run in it. I actually think Ethereum's got a huge run in it, but I think it's an order of magnitude less than Solana at this point. And also have to, I have to throw out crypto perks. So we announced last week that we've got a new rewards token. It was minted by a foundation in Switzerland called the Crypto Banking Alliance. The token is called CPRX. The airdrop started this week. It goes live on Monday on several exchanges. I don't know the dates because I don't control the exchanges, but CPRX is basically going to be spun out to be a DAO by this Swiss foundation later next year. It's a super interesting project. A couple of other exchanges.
So is this the Abra token? Is this?
It's not the token that Abra has adopted for rewards, but we don't own it. A couple of other exchanges are adopting it as their rewards token as well. They're going to be announcing.
And how do we get it? How do we get it if we haven't yet used the Abra platform? I know that that as of next week, we'll be teaching all of our Banter people how to use the Abra platform. But what do we, for those people who haven't used the Abra platform, how do we get our hands?
Right now, the only way to get it is to use Abra. And then starting next week, it'll be live on at least, I believe there's going to be a couple of liquidity pools on some dexes. And I'm aware of 5 exchanges that have mentioned to the foundation that they're going to be supporting the token.
Amazing.
And so it's gonna. I think it's gonna take off. It's one of these projects that nobody's heard of yet. That it's. We've got 3,000 people in our Telegram chat already, but just on CPerks. But I think the numbers are going to take off. So it's now because I got a huge airdrop as a user. There was no sale, by the way. So this was done by the foundation in a way that's never been done before. There's only grants to projects that are worthy of using a rewards token, and it will be spun out to be a DAO. So no sale at all. And it's because I got a huge airdrop as an Abra user, it's now my 3rd largest holding. So I'm a little biased. But when I look at the projects that are going to be getting CPerks, I'm super bullish on this.
Amazing. Bill, thank you. Vinny, thank you. Tyler, thank you.
Loopring. One more. Loopring GME.
Loopring GME. Tell us why, quickly.
Loopring and GameStop, it's pretty much confirmed right now. There was a GitHub leak, and it's pretty much confirmed. And I called that all way back in June, way before Loopring's run up.
Time to go. Love you guys. See you guys again very, very soon. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. And Banter fam, thank you. And I promise you some monkey giveaways, but we've got to end the stream. So if you want the MonkeyBall giveaways, go onto Twitter, change your profile pic to be a monkey, and I will start giving away MonkeyBall giveaways right there. I will see you guys again on Monday. Until then, if you are trading or investing, invest well, my friends. Thank you, bro. Fred, you've done it. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
See you again soon.
All right, man. Take her easy.
Ciao, buddy. Frederico.
Yes,
Come in,
sir. That was fantastic.